Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Bloody Lane public match for you. Before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Server pop as of right now, it's April 14th at about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's about 2:50. Imbalance is in CSA's favor by 10. Union does not have artillery. CSA does, and they have 10 in artillery. So look at that. Infantry-wise, we're pretty balanced. Your officers for today, CSA side, you have Nuke, you have Blake B. Killing, you have Joseph D., you have Biggie Cheese, and for the artillery, you have T-Tom Tommy. And then on the Union side, you have, well, it was Noah, but I don't know where he went. He got sent to the Abyss. You have Yeater there, you have Rooster, another Rooster, and Krabby Brute. And yeah, so with that being said, let's get to our round of the Bloody Lane. Now, Bloody Lane, it's a 52% ticket advantage to the Union side. There should be no reason why Union loses this map. On top of that ticket advantage, Union has the 8th Ohio Regiment with the option of the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 61. And they also have the 69th New York, the Irish Brigade there, with the Springfield 42. So they all got buck and ball shotguns, basically. CSA side, they have the 6th Alabama with the Enfield and the Lorenz, and they also have the 14th North Carolina with the Springfield 55 Enfield and the Springfield 42. Anyways, oh my goodness, Union's doing it. Praise be. Union is charging. Union's kind of doing a split charge here. Not all of CSA's down here, which normally a CSA defense is spread out to start the round, but CSA is reacting relatively quickly. Main Union charge kind of going for this center corner here. And Union starting to bring those flags up, keeping some of them behind. Union making a little progress in the center, but can the CSA sides pinch in? Looks like the CSA on the right side of your screen are going to get thinned out. CSA trying to form a defensive line in the center. Union's got to reorganize here before they spread too far out, and CSA does a countercharge. I mean, Union's very spread out. Look at all that smoke. Union's continuing to charge here. Tickets overall fairly even. I mean, Union took a fair amount of casualties charging in, but what can you expect when you got to charge across the open? And here comes the counter charge. Union's got to protect the flags. That's why organization's huge. Union was trickling into the CSA line, who was getting respawns for this whole charge, and now, since they didn't, CSA didn't trickle out and they've actually formed up, they're probably going to be able to force Union out. We'll see. Probably they are.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
And Union flags, some of them getting out, one of them does not. So Union will get 3 flags out. CSA make the hold and are slightly up on tickets. But ultimately, in the end, right, Union brought everyone's tickets down relatively quickly. And this is a very good thing. This is exactly what you would want as an attacking side, right? Obviously, as an attacker, you want to get a ticket lead. That's nice. However, you don't need to, like, be up by a crazy amount. You can keep things even, and as an attacker, you can be slightly down on tickets, and things are perfectly fine. So this was a great start for Union. They just need to keep up the momentum and throw CSA off. Now, hopefully, they keep doing what they're doing. You'll see sometimes in pubs, they'll like to sit up on top of this hill and kind of shoot it out with the CSA, which I've never really liked. I don't think it makes sense on this map. Just because you have the bucket ball and you have the huge ticket advantage, so might as well use it to your advantage. Sure, a shootout might get you the slight ticket lead over the long run, but it kills a lot of time. And the thing is, too, right, I mean, we look from the Union perspective here. You can, I mean, going up a little higher than the normal player height. You can see the CSA, but if CSA plays it smart, if they back off the snake fence a little bit, they can hold in complete cover. Anyways, what is the Bugle Boy doing?
If you run in there, I will have no choice.
Fucking ball!
Anyways, Let's go over here and see what Union is cooking up here.
Are we charging? Are we charging? Yeah, we're fucking doing. Everyone charge. I don't give a shit. Charge. Everyone go.
Brewster, more like Cornwallis. That voice is recognizable anywhere. But, well, Cornwallis is offering Union. That means they're going to go balls to the wall.
Fails to go. Fails to go.
Oh, nice CSA already shot. That was actually really good. Because look it doesn't kill a whole lot of the Union, but it spreads out this Union charge. You can kind of see there's the front half, and you got some guys that were on the opposite side, and then you got a lot in the back. And why are... Some of those Union groups are up still shooting out the CSA. I don't know why they're not charging in with their friendlies. Yeah, look it. This Union wave came in, and CSA held that pretty strongly. And now the Union guys who are sitting back and shooting are now moving in very trickled. Not a great charge for Union overall. However, as long as they get everyone's tickets down and stay somewhat close to the CSA in terms of percentage of tickets, they should be in a perfectly fine place.
North Carolina, hey,
Let's go. Take a step back. Form up your own.
Get on the run, get on the run.
Holy fucking shit, mama. They're gonna kill me.
Keep shooting.
Hold. Fill the gaps. Hold.
Another Yankee win.
So Union hits engaged, however CSA shortly to follow. Union still trickling in. Their flags did not push up, so they can spawn in guys consistently. And I don't Union at this point the charge is over. But look at those dead bodies. I turned these up for the European reenactment event on Sunday, and I guess it was a good decision to keep that.
The last of these few Yankees. Son of a bitch.
Still coming. Hit him with that bucket ball.
So I don't know why Union's still trickling guys up. Right, I mean Union's slightly down on tickets right now. And there's no, I guess, reason to trickle up and give CSA a slight more of a ticket lead, right? I mean, in a match like this where CSA is buck and ball and they can really condense down, it is it's paramount to still play well, right? The match is still even. It's not like Union's destroyed the CSA and then they can do shenanigans, right? You still got a lot of lock in.
They're not gonna expect the third charge. He's a genius. That's true. You're charging backwards. The army never retreats. We just advance backwards.
Ohio Company B remain.
Company A, you're be on the left side to the
Ohio Company B
southeast.
on the officer.
So, you know, it's... Watch the past two rounds, and this Union officer corps is a lot better than the previous. Why are you guys still trickling up in there? They're not doing anything for their team.
We're trying to get that big company out of there, and we're trying to cross them. All we're doing is just being fucking trying to juke them out, so the left side can have at least a hold. That's all we gotta do.
So,
Full kits, guys. Full kits. Full kits.
I mean, ticket gap's growing a little more, but it still should not be a concern for the Union side. I will say, when I was commentating with Cornwallis, one of the Union officers, they used to be where you would see like the battle ready engaged text. You would know what morale stage you're in, but you wouldn't know how far you are in that stage. And Cornwallis says that people look at that too much now, and I do the same, right? Obviously, what are you guys doing? But this is still one of those maps where even if you're down by a little bit, you got to keep going in. You just have to win once. And this is a beautiful tree, by the way. But you just have to win once. And if you win once, the CSA line will be blown open and you can break through. Hopefully CSA doesn't do what they did in the actual battle and order an accidental retreat. Or something along the lines of that. Anyways, here comes Union. Union flags not pushing up. And CSA holds that pretty well. Oh my goodness, hello. The whole, did a little bait charge there. Now this Union group's not pushing up with the flag either. And that taking morale stage half a stage difference right now.
Shoot him up. Take a step off the fence. Take a step off the fence.
And CSA, seeing this, is pushing towards the center. See, I think Union has a right idea here, but unfortunately it was not executed that well. I mean, we'll watch the end of this, and then I want to see what server pop is again.
Uh-oh.
Keep pushing it. Wipe these guys.
And they're going to get the wipe there. So, server pop right now, it's 260. So it's a little less than what I thought it was. But, yeah, Union shifting. And the thing is, right, if you're... I guess it's going to be hard to show an example at this point. But if you're CSA, I mean, you can see the Union flags here. And the issue is that Union will like to travel across this side of the snake fence here, up against it. And CSA can see your flags and move with them. So, CSA overall has played this round really well. There's not much to do as a defender, right? You see what the attackers are doing, and you react, right? It's not that difficult. But CSA has moved quick, and that's one of the things that's up in the air with the defending team, is can they react to the attackers' movements quickly? And they are. So, CSA overall has played the round really well so far, and they are doing pretty good. Now, I will say, Union not charging those flags up there in this charge, it can be, right, when you want to push up with your flags, generally that means you want to take ground. Flags are very important with the 5-second respawns, and so because of that, you don't want to lose them. And so if you're only charging to try to deal damage to your opponent and not necessarily push up and hold ground, you won't bring the flags up if you just want to deal damage. And unfortunately, I think that's what Union might be doing a little wrong here. Is because when you don't charge up with your flags, right, you're not going to get respawns in the middle of that charge. You're just going to get wiped. So the only goal is to try to deal some ticket damage to the opponent at maybe a loss. So, anyways, that's that little thing. I think Union needs to bring the flags up, and I actually think they just tried to debate the CSA. They pushed the Union company up far right, and meanwhile, the rest of the Union, who was pushing on this side, gunned it to the left. CSA, about 10-15 seconds, took them to realize the situation at hand. And these guys should have charged in. I don't know why they sat back, because if these guys were engaged in melee with those guys up there who are now shooting, they wouldn't be able to react to Union moving over this way. But regardless, here we go.
Back up, boys. Back up and get your bayonets down. Back up, boys. Get your bayonets down. They go one step away from the fight. They are looking forward.
Banger song, by the way. Union has 2 flags up here. I mean, they're doing well. They're not going to win, though. They were able to hold for a little while until CSA pulled up. Again, I think a great idea from Union, on some of these maps, you got to start deceiving the defenders more effectively. But it can be difficult to do on a higher pop server. I don't know why these flags are still engaged. I guess it's kind of hard to see with the smoke screen. But these Union flags need to get out, and it looks like they're going to be able to do that. Yeah, Union mistake there was not charging that group in. They pushed up, and then they backed off, and then this group went. It was just bad timing on that. So, Union is taking losses. CSA is, I mean, they're up almost a half morale stage, so maybe things got a little closer there. But, again, Union just got to win one charge at this point. They got to figure something out. I will say, skirmish used to be 16v16, and now we got up to a 250v250, so a 500-man server at one point, which they had during the update a month ago, and then they took it down. The update finished. You know what happens after a game has an update, right? It gets a huge spike in players. Also was the spring sale, so a lot of people around, so 500 players is great. But it's died down a little bit since then, as we only got like a 250 server right now. But the thing is when you have a smaller player count, like a 50v50 on each side, right? Defenders can't defend the whole width of the map if they have 50 guys. I mean, what do they have right now? They've got 130 guys. So they're going to be able to defend the whole width of this bloody lane. And so this applies to really any map, but when you start getting more players, they can defend the whole width of the map. I know I keep repeating myself, but as an attacker, you have to figure out ways to deceive the defenders a lot better. And one of the ways I think the attackers can try to do this is by sending the whole infantry down one side and keeping their flags out on the other side of the map. Because what happens is the whole Union team charges down this left side. CSA is going to be like, oh crap, that is a lot of Union charging. And they're all going to shift down here. They might not really focus on the flags being on this side. And what happens then is CSA collapses in, everyone's charging over here. And since Union didn't have their flags on the charge and instead kept them like on this side of the map, everyone is spawning back in on those flags. Every 5 seconds, someone's spawning in on a flag, and then they can rush the other side and take it. I wish I could see this strategy more. I saw it once on Garland's stand, and Union put up one of the better fights on Garland's stand as an attacker. They still lost, but it was a lot more competitive than what it normally is for Garland's stand. So, with this all being said, Union's formed up again. Union at least has not lost their flags in the Bloody Lane. That is props to Union so they can reform and kind of hit wherever they want. Time's not really an issue because Union's being so aggressive, which is another reason why I like teams being aggressive as an attacker.
Yeah, I didn't even download you, man. You got a dog. Cool ass one too.
You know what? Just because of this, guys, you guys better go and rank my officer and give me a good review for my dog.
I mean, your dog's gonna be happy.
So, that's the thing, right? If you're aggressive as an attacker, regardless of if you win or lose, you'll notice that there is a lot of time still left on this clock. We're only about 19 minutes into the round. So, that's a nice part about being aggressive. You have a lot of time. You can adapt your strategy. If you want to sit and shoot the rest of the time, you can. If you want to keep charging because it's working, you can. If you want to try to do some crazy, like, flank maneuver stuff, you can try it, you know? It gives you time. Time stressor can be a really detrimental thing to an attacking side, because if Union, imagine if Union only had 5 minutes left in this situation, right? They're going to panic. They got to get CSA down 1 1/3 of a morale stage to hit them to breaking and then cap point, right? You're going to be stressed with limited time, and you're not going to think straight, and you're going to make dumb decisions and be forced to do things you might not want to do. But since Union has a lot of time now, they're like, okay, we're going to sit back and, you know, maybe talk about things, figure them out, and maybe get into a little bit of a shootout. And I will say, props to CSA Arty. This is not the greatest position in the world by all means. It's an okay spot relative to what we have in this game. I mean, you can see the Union on the top of this hill. You can't see in the sunken lane. So if there's any fighting on point, CSA Arty's kind of shooting blind. But they've been hitting good shots on the Union up here overall. So props to them. You know, not game-changing stuff, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Yeah. So.
Hang on, boys. We will soon.
The Union officers charting in the chat.
I think we gotta go. We gotta go.
Looks like Union's about to go in. Actually, this is something that Krabby was talking in the text chat, but it looks like he is on the far Union right, and he is pulling a lot of CSA his way. It looks like about half the CSA team, actually 3 CSA flags are being pulled over here, so 3/4 of the CSA team is going to be fighting. And they're now charging in. If the rest of the Union team is not charging right now, this will be a shame. Because this is really well done by Krabby Brute to get over here. I mean, I didn't even notice it, and I'm up here seeing everything. And Union's not going to win, but it might distract. Here comes the rest of the Union team. Beautifully executed from Union team. Didn't work, though. And CSA's holding. And that's because Union's not bringing up their flags. And now CSA's starting to gun it back. And this ticket gap is growing to 3/4 on mile stage. I don't know why Union didn't bring their flags up there. the whole point of doing a maneuver like that is to catch the CSA off guard, take the corner, and hold it. Again, it's like Union has good ideas, they're just not fully executing on them, and it's a little unfortunate for them. CSA's playing this round really phenomenally, though. They're reacting really fast, and that's something you don't normally see. But, I mean, to be fair, right, it's a large open map, but you'll see sometimes on these large open maps where the defending time will just sit and watch something happen, and it's like, what the heck? So, Union's now, oh my goodness, it's almost a whole morale stage difference. Ah! Wow. I will say, to Union's credit, though, their officers are communicating, they're doing stuff, it's just, things are going their way, and that's really props to CSA for responding kind of quickly.
It's packs. 8th high will be. 8th high will be. 8th high will be. I'm holding a sign like it's the airport. 8th high will be right here. 8th high will be. Hello, Burkhardt.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Far left this time.
This shit ain't working.
Yes, we have to.
Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. If you're willing, tap R. Tap R, break reloads, up and over the fence, up and over the fence, up and over the fence. 8th high, up and over the fence.
So, I mean, if you really want to get meta with it, right, half the Union team has Springfield 42, so they got bucketball. The other half of the team has normal rifles, which aren't shotguns. But both 42s are. So if I were Union, I would charge those guys in first, and then I would keep the 42s in the back. Anyways, here comes Union. They're going hard left. Why are some of the Union not... Oh, I should not have hit that button. I'm sorry. But a lot of the Union are moving in late, and Union's going in trickle, and that's going to give CSA more time to respond. But this is, you know, why is Union not bringing up the flags? That is the one thing I don't get. If you want to hold the ground, you got to bring up their flags, which looks like they're starting to move up. One of them is, anyways. Here come more CSA reinforcement. You can see them streaming in on the left side. Excuse me? Union brought the flags up too late. And now they're getting shot up in the open there. That's unfortunate. And CSA is going to hold this. Union's in breaking. I mean, Union still has some ground here.
Keep going in there. Keep going in there, guys.
This was Union's best attempt so far. I mean, they're still they're barely holding this. And it looks like CSA is going to take this. That's the thing, right? That Union charge, it was very spread out going into it. Union, you just can't have a spread out charge like this because you need to all hit this area at the same time. Because CSA that's probably the slowest CSA has reacted so far. And Union had a shot. And then secondly, they didn't bring their flags up. So all Union guys that were dying were spawning all the way up here and not down here in the action. And then those guys that spawn in up here have to run all the way down here and they're just completely exposed in the open. And so Union's got about 2 more shots at what we just saw. And otherwise it's over. I mean, they're going to have to go this side again. And because their flags are there, they got to have the mobile respawns. But Union needs to pick them up and go in with them. That's the one thing they haven't done this round, except for maybe the beginning. I don't necessarily remember that as of now. I was playing that banger of a song. Unfortunately, can't listen to much more of that. It's a great song. Civil War songs are pretty cool. So, Union, though, again, Union's got a lot of time. They can form up. They can talk about what they want to do. And again, you can see CSA, they're kind of forming up to their original positions again. And it kind of makes sense. They just want to be prepared in case the Union tries to go down this side, which Union has done. So CSA has to respect that and kind of spread out. They probably would spread out regardless. But Union team, they need to gather up and just go. They cannot dilly-dally. They can't spread out. They need to go. And Union has enough time to where they really need to make sure their men understand when to go.
Now, form a line, gentlemen. Form a line.
Something just happened over here.
You must know it was undefeated till the launch work is completed,
We're almost at
boys.
full capacity, Yosef.
You're my fucking
We were praying and you were talking.
Iconic voice right there. My
This
goodness.
charge is for Jesus.
Move it to the right now.
Anyways,
Charge is
with this all being said, Union's gathering up, and I don't like them taking shots here. Again, CSA is spreading out because they do not know where the Union's going to go, and if Union sits over here and kind of gets into a shootout, CSA might all collapse in on this side, which would ruin Union trying to charge over here. And for all we know, Union could shoot this out for the next couple minutes because those flags, right, they've got a 5-minute despawn timer on them, so they will eventually despawn and Union can get them back. And maybe Union's just like, alright, we're going to have a shootout for a few minutes, we have the time to afford it, we don't want to charge in and try to pick up the flags while charging, that's just going to be a mess. So, we've been aggressive, and so we're going to use that time we've gotten to our, maybe advantage. I mean, we'll see with the shootout what happens. But Union's starting to go off to that right side again. I think they're just trying to pull the CSA in, which, I mean, who is it on this front? Is it Krabby Brute? I assume it's Krabby Brute. I mean, what? I see,
Go back down left, go back down left.
was it Mr.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Right here,
That's my
right
bad,
here,
that's
right
my
here,
bad.
right here, right here, right here,
Oh,
right
wait, our
here.
star is even fucking.
So 8th Ohio. Okay, that's good.
He died, he died, he died, he died. He got shot,
The reason why I look at that is because Union should be charging with the bucket ball regiments. Here comes another regiment. Voitek.
Yep.
Let's see here.
We're gonna do some pop-up shots. But listen.
He's one of the bucket ball companies. Union's spreading out.
Line up here. Take a lead, man. For any rebel you see down there, I'll fucking.
But, yep. Hey, ready, aim!
You can't sit out there like that. Oh, no. Ah! You gotta run up and take your shot. I get the officer died there. That can happen. It's a fight in 69. I mean, what can we see in Union chat? Afa Abala, of course. How are we losing tickets? Well, what do we want to do? Wait for flags. Rambos have been killing. Yeah, I mean, we'll see at the end of the round how many Rambos Union has, but I don't know how well this shootout's going to work for Union, just because in the majority, outside of over here, which when they run up to take shots, they have the snake fence, but if they want to take shots from over here, they got to run up out of the snake fence position and push up to here, and actually, they got to run up, aim, and shoot. And when you run up, aim, and shoot, it's going to be a lot harder for the Union to actually get a shot off versus CSA. All these guys, they're on independent fire. They're already aiming where Union's going to be. So it's going to be difficult for that to happen. But
Keep it up, gentlemen. Keep it up.
CSA is going to go into breaking. Which, again, right, Union's not in a great place, but they can still win this game. They need to hit CSA to breaking, which they will. And if they cap the point, they can win it. So they just need to win one charge.
Over the hill over there.
One charge. And it's getting to the point where I think the situation will force Union to charge up with their flags, which they've needed to do this entire game. Which more and more CSA are shifting towards the point here, seeing that Union's up here putting pressure, right? They want to sit around the point. They don't want Union just walk down and take it. And so they're pushing guys here, which makes sense. But again, it leaves a window of opportunity for maybe Union to charge down here all of a sudden. I mean, Union's got to do that. If Union charges in the open field down to this point, I'm going to be a little disappointed. I mean, it might happen regardless based on the situation at hand, but
Get ready, we're gonna wait for him to pop out volume. Hold.
CSA already's getting into the fun, although that shot Wow. What is this area? Huh, I've never noticed this before. Look at this. See, it's kind of neat because oh, I better get in bounds before I die. The cool part about War of Rights is that the whole Antietam battlefield is here, right? It's all generated in, so it really feels like you're on the battlefield, unlike a lot of other games, which kind of just, they have the boundaries, and then outside of the boundaries it looks bad. But it actually feels like you're at the battlefield just because they've done the whole thing, and they just, for a skirmish battle, they just plot out a specific area, and, you know, you fight over that. There's out of bounds for that, but it feels like you're here. But the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of areas on these maps where we don't see any of the fighting, like right where I just pointed out. I don't think there's any fighting here. I mean, this is like the Mama farmhouse here, with the graveyard back there. You got Cook's Countercharge here. You got the Dunker Church, iconic location on that side. You got the Westwoods. You got the Eastwoods. And then this whole area is smokestacks for skirmish. I mean, or for conquest and contention. I mean, it's really cool. You got Piper Farm there. And yeah, I mean, roulette is right here. So I mean, it's just pretty neat. You can see everything. And this isn't, a lot of this is, how they made this map is they took a photo of Google Maps, plopped it down, and edited on it. Which, I mean, you can kind of see it just looks bad over there, and that's just because they, again, took a screenshot of Google Earth or Maps or whatever and just plopped it down and then made the map from there, which is a pretty nice idea. But is this out of bounds? I'm like, there's a bunch of guns here. I wonder if you could use those. Random thought.
I want two people to stay with me. Two people to stay with the flag. Two people to stay with the flag.
So, no, it's pretty neat. The point I was going to say, though, is that they took a photo of Google Maps, plopped it down, made the maps, but they cut out parts of the map that weren't important. So a lot of this stuff might not actually be to scale with the actual battlefield. So some segments are cut out, especially, I don't know where the Otto and Sherrick farm is. I think, yeah, this is the Otto and Sherrick farm, and the Burnsides Bridge is somewhere over where I'm looking. But like this stuff, like the Roulette Lane, Bloody Lane, is not that close to Burnside's Bridge and the Otto and Sherrick farms in real life. That is probably a 3 to 5 minute car ride away from that. So anyways, side tangent to not what the battle is about, but it's not like a whole lot's been happening down here anyways. They've just been shooting each other out. Both sides are going down. Union's about to final push CSA into breaking. Again, Union can cap and win at this point if they hit him into breaking, which will happen. But the question is, can they win the one charge they need to do to win the game? CSA have played a phenomenal game, but it will not matter if Union wins the next charge, which we got some Union movement. I mean, I don't know if they're saying anything in chat. Looks like they're talking about going the right side, which is over here, which Union team is all here. And here's our finale of today. Can Union actually get a win today? Again, they got to move quick. The longer they sit here, yeah, it looks like some of them are moving quick, which is nice to see. Unfortunately, CSA is already here. And Union team, they got a company up center, which they're not going to be doing anything. Sure, they're going to get some nice shots, but they're not going to be able to do a lot in the grand scheme of things. Why? There's Union there sitting and shooting still. They need a charge. All Union needs to go in at once. They're like a snake right now. You can't be that. Got to be a blob. Union's final push. Clock drops to a little over 3 minutes. And that's one of the buck and ball companies up on top too with a shotgun. CSA's, I will say, CSA's distracted by that Union group up top, so maybe they're doing a good thing in the end.
Come here, Blue Belly. Come here. Come here, get some.
Yeah, that group distracted a lot of CSA. CSA on the right side now starting to move over. Union starting to gain some momentum here. Gets a CSA flag. Union starting to push. Actually, that's 2 down CSA flags.
Only clubs. Get in there, gentlemen. Get in there. Get in there. Get on point.
Get on point, gentlemen. Charge into them. Wipe those flags. Wipe their flags.
Here comes CSA main spawns. Will have an opportunity to get up here. Briefly looking, CSA main spawns right there. It is not that far from where we're watching right now. And so, CSA's going in. Union's got to hold this. They got 2 flags up here. CSA's pushing through it, though. And unfortunately, it looks like the CSA is going to be able to hold this. Where'd those... Oh, it looks like those Union flags were away from view. I was like, I don't see half the Union flags. I wonder where they're at. Yeah, Union has infinite tickets at this point. The black timer just dropped a good amount of the ways. CSA is not fully pushing out the Union flags, though, so... As long as Union can keep getting respawns, they'll survive. Which you do have some Union main spawns with one of the flags going down that side. I don't know why Union flag is over there. 1.5 minutes left. CSA's halfway through breaking. Union just needs war bodies on point when the clock hits 0. And they can pull it off. And CSA main spawns move up the rear. And they are going to get a full wipe there. So that's 3 Union flags down. You know, a good attempt by Union. They had a chance. You know, I'm sorry for the group up center up shooting. You were distracting a lot of CSA, so that was my bad. But that's the thing, right? If you're doing something like that, you better be distracting a lot of the CSA. My concern with it at the time is, right, you were spreading out Union. Not all of Union was charging in. And that can be a concern, right? You want as many Union guys as possible to hit the CSA line as quick as you can. But too much to overcome in the end. 40 seconds left. And... CSA is going to get a really good win on a map that is not very easy for them to win, per se. I don't know why some of these Union guys are quick timing. Union main spawn starting to churn it out. But that is our round for today of the Bloody Lane or Sunken Lane, depending on who you ask. I call it the Bloody Lane. But, yeah. I mean, this was textbook from CSA, really. I mean, towards the end, CSA was getting a little less responsive to what the Union was doing, but Union was obviously doing a little more extreme pushes. So, yeah. Really well played from CSA. Union, I think the biggest thing from them is they should have brought their flags up more. I get why they didn't. You don't want to lose those flags up there, but towards the end, when CSA wasn't being as responsive, the Union had chance to get... hold ground, which Union need to just win 1 charge on the corner and hold that to prevail. But in the end, it is what it is. Really good win from CSA. Something not often seen, at least from myself. So anyways, with that all being said, if you want to support the channel, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the events we cover. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have other stuff in the description as well, like our Discord and merch, if you want to check that out. Nonetheless, though, yeah, good round of Bloody Lane. Hopefully we learned a thing or two, and I hope you all enjoyed this. I appreciate you all a lot. Could not do this without everyone here. And so, yeah, that was Bloody Lane.